Look, it's a flood.
The flood.
It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
The mic sounds nice, check one.
But keep your levels tight because of the baby.
You right.
Back to one. All we got is one mic.
Oh, we got it one mic! I cannot believe that was like, wait, did Jay-Z and Nas have beef?
Don't do that to her. You gotta bleep her name out. Don't air her out like that. I can't do that to her. You've let me
Why
live.
can't we talk about black stuff?
You've let me live on so many sports things. I'm gonna pretend like
You're gonna
that.
defend your woman here?
Yeah, I'm gonna pretend like that. Because it didn't happen at the cookout, so we're good.
Alright.
As long as it... Look, if that had happened at the cookout, I might have been like, you gotta walk home, yo. That's awful. Ladies, is it awful? Men, is it awful to make your woman walk home because
She doesn't know that Jay-Z and Nas had beef?
you remember a very iconic cultural moment?
She's like, I didn't know that they had beef, and I said, fuck Jay-Z. She didn't even pick up that it was the lyrics.
What would be, like, the female equivalent? Like, not knowing that Leonardo DiCaprio was in Titanic?
Not knowing that Love Story was written by Taylor Swift?
Not knowing who Paris Hilton is?
No. Because apparently now she's more famous than ever now that she's DJ.
Well, actually, you joke about that, but X, formerly known as Twitter, and Paris Hilton will be launching an exclusive partnership deal. CEO Linda Yaccarino announced.
Oh, yay. Good old Linda.
Today, ex-CEO Linda Yaccarino announced that the platform would be embarking on a new partnership with Paris Hilton and her media company 1111. In a post on X, Yaccarino called Hilton the queen of pop culture, music business, and TV.
What year is this?
Haven't you heard? The 90s are so 2011, bro. We're bringing back the 2000s now, dog. Like, all this shit.
Oh my god, I saw this one time on Twitter. Somebody reposted, and they were like, oh my god, I love Sum 41 and Blink-182. It must have been awesome to grow up in the early 2000s.
Yo, Des just asked me to get him a pair of Pit Viper shades, the, like, snowboarder shits. Like, and I'm like, ooh, we really are bringing back the... I mean, haven't you seen, like, Doja Cat's, like, IG at all? Like, we're back to that. Get your chrome out, get your velour tracksuits out, the visors, we about to bring the visors back. Ooh, what is something from 2000s aesthetic that you hope stays in the early 2000s?
Bleach tips.
I was just thinking that.
Bleach tips and gangster Looney Tunes.
Somewhere, damn, don't do that. I kind of want the gangster.
But mainly bleach tips.
I kind of want the gangster Looney Tunes, which will airbrush tees to come back.
Nah, make it gangster anime.
Gangster anime? Oh, yeah. Yeah, like the Boondocks. I keep
like,
seeing...
Can you imagine the Akatsuki as D12? Like,
I keep seeing Riley as Tanjiro, and I'm like, okay, like Demon Slayer, but like with like a little boy from the hood, though. Like it gives me Attack on the Block kind of vibes, or Attack the Block.
I was about to say Riley gives me Eren Yeager vibes.
Bro, yeah. So together, X and Paris Hilton will be working to create 4 original concept videos a year, including one that is apparently a live shopping experience where viewers can browse through a catalog of products and then click through the site to make a purchase. So apparently X is now becoming fucking QVC, and Paris Hilton is the host. What? What are we doing? I get Elon wants to make it the everything app, bro, but I didn't know we was like targeting the boomers. Like, so wait, is Elon trying to say that X is the app for Generation X who are now replacing the boomers because clearly the boomers are dying off R.I.P. Dianne Feinstein?
I think Elon's just really cracked out on ketamine.
I mean, and really into white
Pornolothos?
Right? Yeah, no, I don't get it. But Lydia Yagarino is super excited about it because, I mean, I'd rather be working with Paris Hilton than Elon Musk any day. But
Pornolothos?
Why not both? Ew. No. Why would you want to work with Elon Musk? Apparently,
And Paris Hilton.
at the same time.
That's mid.
Speaking of mid,
Hold on. I didn't even get to tell you what I wanted to tell you. I think I was violated.
Whoa. I'm sorry. Hold on. That wasn't a proper reaction to that. Are you okay?
I never said how I was violated.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I was almost emotionally violated.
In like a kinky kind of way? I don't understand.
Well, let me explain. So, in my hand I hold, what is this?
For our listeners, it is a red spiral back notebook.
That is full of what exactly?
Gibberish.
Everything. Including
Gibberish.
jokes.
Hot takes.
And some of those jokes are quite dark. Oh, right, the Columbine kids. Yeah, that's one. That was a good one. I was at this table watching everybody stand up. There were these two girls next to me. They were laughing. I was laughing, you know.
As you do at a comedy.
Yeah. Talk, say hi.
Right.
I go to the bathroom.
Parlaying with the ladies.
I come back. My notebook is now open.
And you're sure that you weren't, taking notes before you went to the bathroom and potentially left it open on the table.
I did not leave it open. But when I came back, it was open.
Was it open to like the front, or was it like the middle of the book? Like
It was open to the most recent page that it was on.
So the last page that you had left off.
And she wrote her number down.
Oh.
But I don't know if she saw the whole,
plot
mass
thickens.
shooter joke, and...
Obviously not. She was clearly just flipping through to get to your heart.
But, yeah, I'm thinking there's some real vulnerable shit in here, like poetry.
Oh, so you're...
And shopping lists.
So you feel violated because...
She read my diary, maybe!
I think there are tons of women in the audience. First of all, hi ladies. Thank you all for tuning in. Second of all, I think they're like, now you know how it feels. Yeah, no, it's weird. What do you mean you feel violated? You gotta know, like, bro, what? Listen, ain't dating hard.
But she
out here.
opened my joke book.
She opened my joke book. She touched my private notes.
Exactly!
It took it to your heart, my guy. How many times do I have to say it? Do you not see this meet cute? Y'all met at a comedy nightclub, right? Y'all was exchanging ha-has together.
This is a fucking John Cusack movie waiting to happen.
Yes, it's flipped on you, and you don't know how to handle it because normally you're the aggressive one, right? Like, you make the first move. You the one out there like, yo, let me get your handles, ma. Right? But nah, she was like, while he in the bathroom, I'm gonna fucking write my number down in this book and then dip off in the night like Cinderella leaving her glass slipper in his diary.
Alright, so this gets even a little stranger. Mo, comedian I was talking about earlier, mentioned something
Shout
about
out to Mo.
something about Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons. She was like, oh my god, I love those both! My two thoughts that popped through my head was, oh my god, she loves magic. And the second is, oh my god, not again.
Care to explain for our listeners?
No!
No, you can actually go back and listen to previous episodes if you want to find out. I would go to the earlier ones, the more
That episode was
ones.
never released, sir.
I'm sure there are some times where that you have name dropped this lady throughout the podcast that can give people clues as to why.
I will
that
say,
might be a bit of a red flag. Although, listeners, you tell me, Magic the Gathering, is that a red flag? If you see that on somebody's Hinge profile, are you gonna, like, keep scrolling? Or...
I mean, like, the thing is, like...
I mean, obviously you, right? Like, that's your perfect manic pixie dream scenario, right? And
I don't know anymore.
My man said, look, I'm in my 30s.
Not only
I'm trying to
that,
get
like,
my life together.
like
my
after
knees ain't
that,
as sturdy as they used to
after
be.
that whole thing ended, I had a little bit of a sour relationship with Magic for a bit.
Oh, so you're saying she got too wrapped up into your love for Magic, y'all bonded too much over that shit, and it changed the way you look. Ooh, I've had that happen before with a couple of things, right? Like
I'm
you
just
ride
saying,
through the city and certain places ain't the same, right? You look at benches a little different.
I'm just saying,
like,
when I target an angel with a Doom Blade, I do it a little more assertively.
if y'all used to go to like a specific Wawa together, you might like go to a one all the way across town because you like, I just can't even. Dirty.
Oh, the levels of innuendo are rising up and crashing through.
This is Doug
And Ziggy.
and we are yours truly, the Flood, bringing you our pop perspective
To put the culture in context.
and make some sense out of the mainstream.
Because if we do not make sense, we don't make dollars.
Holla. And how we plan to do that is by being your favorite weekly pop culture digest, talking about the news happening around us and how it's shaping the culture that defines us. And of course, you know how we like to start off the show, and if you don't know, now you know.
This week's hit on the algorithm is First Person Shooter by Drake and J. Cole.
For all
And,
you
all right,
dogs
hold
out
on.
there.
First Person Shooter by
All
J.
you
Cole
dogs.
featuring Drake.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Because apparently honesty is Drake's kryptonite. Like, he can't handle some of the honest reviews coming out. But I mean, let's be honest before we get into all of that. This track, no questions asked. I mean, like,
Track is fire. Like, the beat is crazy, J. Cole goes nuts, and then the beat drop like it's fucking Duckworth. Like,
that beat is a Tay Keith beat, if I remember correct. And that beat is a Tay Keith beat.
So, here's a fun hip-hop fact that I found out today, thanks to Great Sage Gavin, friend of the show. Did you know the guy who played Ducky on NCIS was a musician and composed, performed, and released the song The Edge by David McCallum that would go on to be the beat for Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre's The Next Episode.
Ooh. That is an interesting little...
Right? It's a fun little fact!
Yeah, that's an interesting little Easter egg there for you. That's what you get listening to the Flood Pod, baby.
Apparently Dr. Dre watches NCIS!
That's culture and context. That's culture and context, but that's exactly what we were talking about.
Boom!
Listen, so for all the dogs, it's what? God damn, it was like 25 tracks, 90 something, almost 90 minutes. And you
About almost 90 minutes. So like what, 87? You can don't worry about like 83 of them.
An hour and 25 minutes long, 23 tracks exactly, with features from everybody, including Tizo Touchdown, 21 Savage, J. Cole, as we were just talking about. You know, he's got the SZA track on there. SZA on here twice, once with that Slime You Out that debuted a couple of weeks ago, and then again on another feature with Sexy Red, that Rich Baby Daddy. Also, Chief Keef, Party Next Door, Lil Yachty, who has a feature and also produced another track on here. I mean, honestly, how did you receive it? Right?
First
How are
Person
you feeling
Shooter
the
is
new-
gas!
Right. Yeah, no, you have definitely, that shit has a chokehold on your playlist, right? Like, I feel like First Person Shooter is widely receiving praise. Like, J. Cole is the one that everybody's
moonwalking on that shit.
That boy don't miss. That boy just don't.
You know what's
miss.
crazy? All of the last Drake songs I've really liked, and you mentioned this before, are for the features. You Only Live Twice. I literally turn it off after Rick Ross's verse.
I'm all right. I'll get into that in a little bit here as we go through. Were there any tracks you absolutely just had to skip, like when you heard them shits?
So to answer your question, I only remember the name of one song. So
there you go. There you go, and I feel like that hits on it perfectly, right? Like, what I feel like Drake has found this formula that is like what you do when you are trying to maintain your grades but not put effort, right? Like,
I don't relate to that.
I feel like his last couple albums have been like that, dude. Like, what was it?
A couple of my assignments this semester have been like that.
Her Loss was, I won't even count Her Loss because that was a feature album, right? Like, that was him and 21 Savage. But honestly, Nevermind, Certified Lover Boy, Scorpion, More Life, Views, everything. All that shit has been like, for the dude who is one track away from tying with Michael Jackson for number ones, his last couple albums have been mid. And I'm not saying that as a hater. I enjoyed the Drake album. They're just not fucking memorable, dude. Lots of them are.
What's the most memorable one he has? Like, If You're Reading This Is Too Late?
And that was the one
with Future.
That was the one. No, that was the one that was written by Quentin Miller. The double album you're thinking of is
because Drake has been around for over 10 years.
Yeah, no, he's been around almost as long as Taylor Swift.
I remember both of them from high school. Like, the ones that are still around from, like, when I was in high school are, like, Riri, Kanye,
I feel like
Drake Taylor
debuted... Oh, the album is called What a Time to Be Alive. Haha, I was right. Anyway, the joint album between Drake and Future is What a Time to Be Alive.
Really? I thought it was If You're Reading This. That's the cover, though.
No. If You're Reading This Is Too Late is the album that was ghost-written by Quentin Miller for the most part, right? Obviously, Drake still contends to that, he just used a couple of reference tracks for Quentin. That's what Quentin alleges as well. But my point here is Drizzy is mighty upset because you guys are already making jokes. And by you guys, I mean Joe Budden. Joe Budden really got under Drake's skin. Joe Budden was reviewing the album on his podcast, and was
as he does,
saying that the lyrical content of the album was rather, childish. He said, "It's time to grow up, Drake. Ain't you about to be 38?" No, I think the man is about to be 37. I don't know, might be 36. His birthday is at the end of the month, which is obviously why we got the album drop at the beginning of the month. Drake responded to that with a very lengthy, was it a comment under the video?
Can I read it?
Do you want to read it?
Yeah! I want to read it. Champagne Poppy says on Instagram, @Joe Budden, "You have failed at music. You left it behind to do what you are doing in this clip because that is what actually pays the bills. For any artist watching this, just remember you are watching a failure give their opinion on his idea of a recipe for success. A quitter gave their opinion on how to achieve longevity. You switch careers because the things that pop into your brain had you broke living check to check with the raps you write for 450 men showing up to your shows in dusty NC jeans to screw up their face to Mood Music 29 and pretend you are the GOAT. Jeez. Please, to any artist that's doing what they feel is right, don't let these opinions affect your mindset after the fact. This guy is the poster child of frustration and surrendering. You retired and we never hung up your jersey. We don't even remember your number.
That's the kill shot, though.
We know you are doing this. You withdraw from rap not because you accomplished all you need, because it wasn't working for you. I never want anybody in the generations to think the whole everybody is entitled to their opinion thing is real. This is a man projecting his own self-hate and the fact I did and continue to do everything he wanted to do for himself. If I need to put it in simpler terms, I own a 767. He owns a modest house in the 973 and flies first class on special occasions. That was the kill shot for me.
Well, I don't, being the socialist I am, I don't get down on rich flexing on people. Although, I will say that
Drake and
is
Joe
also
Budden?
me talking broke boy shit, because I can't rich flex with Drake and Joe Budden. but, also, Hit Dog's gonna holler, right? Because
I was about to say, if you're flying first class, it is Instagram stories non-stop.
Listen to me, fam. A Hit Dog gonna holler. There's a reason why Drake dropped that whole motherfucking paragraph in the comments, bro. And it is because he knows the perception is not where he wants it to be already. Academics and other outlets are predicting that For All the Dogs is projected to sell around 450K its first week, which is, I feel like, kind of modest numbers for Drake. And it might be because the album is mid.
I mean, like, he's got all of the features, including the best track on the album is with the guy who went double platinum on an album with no features.
I said it's 23 hours. It's 23 songs, 23 tracks, an hour and 25 minutes. And I feel like it is the kind of album, for better or worse, that you could put on and forget is on. Now, it's up for debate whether that's a good thing or not.
Lo-fi is like that.
Exactly. Right? And the Pitchfork article...
Basically what you're saying is the new Drake album is white noise.
The Pitchfork article that I read for the review, before the review, right, was going in depth into how Drake is very good at and often, reaches into new trends. He was making references to memes and social commentary for cultural moments that are happening
He's
all throughout
leaned
the album.
into him being a meme.
And very much so, to the point where, like, he even, kind of makes references to people calling him sus and stuff like that. Like, it's...
The Toronto Raptors mascot isn't a raptor. It's Drake.
The Pitchfork article has some of the most Drake-isms that the writer thought listed at the bottom, including, any nigga try to trouble you, he gonna find out it's on site like www, on site like .com, put a baby in you, you a hot mom. Virginia Beach. I
mean, there was one track on this album, allegedly.
Whipped and change you like American slaves, slime you out. Your girl's in the bathroom laying down white lines like supremacists. Tried our best.
Which is the one where he tried to say that sex with Rihanna was average?
Dog, there was a whole fucking... I cannot remember what song that was. But it was like the whole fucking like first 8 bars of that shit were dedicated to just Rihanna subs for no reason. Like anti this, anti that.
The girl who performs Rude Boy is bad in bed. I believe it.
Salty, right? Like Drake is in his salty era. Drake has clearly entered his villain era. If you haven't seen, it's been trending a lot. Lots of people are feeling that anti-hero wave coming on. I don't know if Taylor Swift started that, right?
It was Usher.
We are sliding into our villain era here, and I'm kind of disappointed. I'm kind of disappointed because if we were really going to lean into For All the Dogs atmosphere, I expected Drake to come a little bit harder than this, right? Like, essentially what Joe Budden is accusing Drake of is being the watered-down George Clooney of rap, right? Like, you're getting
George
old.
Clooney, explain that.
You're getting old, you won't settle down, you're a bachelor, right? Like, Drake is, like, clearly, like, cosplaying George Clooney.
I want to push back on that.
He wants to be the George Clooney of rap. He's handsome, right? He's the lover boy, certified lover boy shit. How are you gonna push back on that, right?
George Clooney is now happily married for almost a decade to one of the UN's leading human rights lawyers.
And when did that happen? It was like when he was like 43.
Look, man, that's my trajectory for getting married at this point.
Drake is 36. And at this point, he is tired of the accusations. He's tired. He even made a reference to like the Millie Bobby Brown thing, like how people thought he was trying to screw her, right? He's over it. He's over all you motherfuckers, and he's sliding into that egotistical back into that egotistical Drake that we were getting.
I got two questions for you. Two questions for you. First one: how long until Pusha T drops a track?
At this point, I'm wondering if Joe Budden's gonna drop one because
featuring Pusha T?
No. Little do people know, or may not remember, that Joe Budden actually has like 3 diss tracks already against Drake, which he honestly, lyrically, dog walked this nigga in. Because it's Joe Budden. So we've already been in this territory before. I wonder if this will reignite that, if Joe will feel the need to like lyrically assault. Although I feel like at this point it's not going to work because of the lane that Drake chose to initiate this with. Like, it wasn't the Hamas route, which we'll get into a little later. I feel like that might be a tad bit insensitive, especially considering Drake is...
Wait, is he Jewish or Jew-ish?
He's had 2 bat mitzvahs, one for a video and one in real
greedy.
life. He's also rich, right? It was a re-bat mitzvah. The one for started from the bottom.
Reboot
I think it
mitzvah.
was. Also, I think Drake may be a little in his feelings because apparently he is dealing with some health issues and has stated in several interviews or it is at least being circulated through several different outlets at this point, that he may actually be considering a bit of a hiatus from rap to take care of some stomach issues that he has been dealing with. He also made mention to some obligations to some important people that he's got to take care of.
Hold on. I gotta say, honestly, never mind.
I gotta say that personally, in my opinion, this is probably 3.5 mics out of 5. Also, don't skip that fix for the 6. That Lil Wayne album is hitting, and it didn't need 23 tracks to do it. Is all I'm saying.
I did catch one of the songs. I've never been a huge Wheezy fan. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a shame. But you're also like an Eminem stan, so I guess that's where we will part tides when that versus comes down.
I'm not an Eminem stan. I will defend him in the sake of people.
You wouldn't drive off a bridge and float to an island for this nigga, but
yeah, no. Oh shit! How am I supposed to send this shit out? But I will say that I will defend Eminem to the extent when people say that he is trash. I say no. He is in the high court. He just happens to be the jester.
Oh yes. Our dedicated listeners will remember that argument. And I would never say that Eminem is trash. I will say that
I think we're in agreement with that take. Is like, he's in the high court, he's just the court jester.
Eminem has clearly demonstrated that at this point he just kind of likes to have fun with rap music, but he does
murder
also
anyone who comes at him for whatever reason.
Have a genuine appreciation for the sport. He is literally Woody Harrelson in White Men Can't Jump.
Yeah.
Right? Not Jack Harlow. Not Jack Harlow. Fuck the Jack Harlow version of that movie.
Woody Harrelson balled the fuck out.
I did just watch the original White Men Can't Jump because it's on Turner Classic Movies right now. If you haven't.
White Men Can't Jump is on Turner Classic Movies?
Because it is a classic movie at this point.
It is, but still, like, that's just... I'm so used to, like, Turner Classic Movies being, like, black and white and 360p resolution.
No, dog. Now there's just last month they had a whole
White Man Can't Jump is at least 480p.
Yeah, just last month they had a whole 90s and 2000s iconic movie. Right?
What's your favorite teenage 2000s movie?
Oh, dude.
I love the one. You ever seen New Guy?
Yeah.
The bad guy had frosted tips. I mean, Malibu's Most Wanted is a classic.
Van Wilder was crazy.
Van Wilder is a great one.
I think if I had to pick one, it might be like Euro Trip, right? And like that's just because I feel like that was, or American Pie, right? Like American Pie is the
is that 2000s?
Yeah, dude.
I always thought that was like 98.
It might. Okay, yeah, no. I think
I always
American
associate
Pie
American Pie with.
No, I think you're right. I think American Pie is like 98 because American Pie 2 is 2001.
And American Pie nowadays is wildly problematic.
Obviously, right? But when you talk about like 2000s like teen sex comedies, how could you leave out? And it's the 2000s, dude. Like everything was problematic.
I mean, it's like
the 2000s was like the 80s.
What's the guy's name?
In Chrome,
Signifier. FD Signifier?
Oh yeah,
yeah, like the guy FD Signifier said.
Hey, shout out to FD Signifier on YouTube.
Like FD Signifier said, nothing survived the 90s.
No, and I'm surprised anything is making it out of the 2000s. Now that we're going back and reviewing all of that.
Fucking Ted Danson has drama because he did blackface in like 1987.
Jesus Christ. Oh, I forgot all about Fired Up. You remember that one?
No.
Nicholas. Yeah, exactly. That's why all of the movies have made it out of like public ire is because they were all funny, but like not funny enough to be like memorable. Right?
Evolution begs to differ.
Ladies Man.
Caw!
Do you remember?
Chucky!
Oh, fucking I Think I Love My Wife. Chris, does that count?
Was that Chance the Rapper?
No, no, that's Chris Rock.
Okay, so here was the...
I would have to say maybe like, Sex Drive or...
Yeah, 2000 had all of the early Judd Apatow movies.
Was that a Judd Apatow movie?
Sex Drive? I think so. I know the first, like, major Judd Apatow movie was 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, that was on here, too. I didn't know if I would count it. No. Sex Drive was Sean Anders.
No. It's very Judd Apatow-esque.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was, like, on the writing staff.
Have you seen the Netflix show My Next Guest Is with David Letterman?
Tweet. Is it still called a tweet? Do X at us? No.
They're posts.
Yeah, post at us on Threads. Let us know what your favorite 2000s teen comedy is. I won't say teen sex comedy.
My second question is, who do you want to see enter a villain arc? We have Usher going through a villain arc. Now we have Drake going through a villain arc.
Drake's heel turn, though, is fucking just as corny as him, though. That's my whole point with this album, right? Is like, even the way Drake does misogyny is cheesy, right? And at this point, I agree with Joe Budden says, but I don't feel like it takes away from what this album is trying to deliver. I do, however, also feel like this album was half-assed, and there are reports of last-minute verse switch-ups and last-minute edits that kind of allude to this album not being entirely what Drake may have wanted it to be.
Are we gonna get patch notes for this album?
I wouldn't be surprised if we get like a little sneak playlist before Drake actually slides into hiatus, especially because he is only one away from Michael right now.
So this is where I wanted to bring it back to. So he's comparing himself to Michael, but you said earlier that Joe would dog walk him in lyrics, right?
Well, if you listen to that 8 a.m. in Charlotte, see when
this
Drake...
This is the other thing, like,
when Drake does that 8 a.m. in Charlotte shit, then I'm like, see, now that Drake, you know, that's competition right there, right? But we're also talking about Joe Budden, who is not for nothing.
Drake can't sing or dance the way Michael can. I would not put Drake as the king of pop the way Michael is.
He's definitely the king of pop rap. It's funny that
pop
you said
rap, that's fine, but he's not the king of pop.
I saw, I might push back on that in a second, but I did see a Ryan comedy post earlier where he was talking about going to a Drake concert, and it was the worst concert he's ever been to. And I was like, yeah, dude, because Drake concerts aren't for dudes. Drake's music has never really been for dudes. He's making music for the vapid women. It's like, I'm sorry, ladies, not all of you who listen to Drake are vapid, right? But the women he talks about being in these emotional conflicts with and dealing with, and the kind of women that he's buying purses and shit for, which he talks about doing relentlessly through the fucking album, is like, yeah, like those kinds of women, those are the ones who go to his concerts and sing his lyrics because it's fun to sing that shit when you drunk and you mad at niggas, right?
You know who's not going to his concerts?
Joe Bud.
Rihanna.
Because she's too busy happy with her man, Drake.
With one kid? Or
two?
Two now.
But with all that being said,
let's just give before we go to break, give a quick rundown of some other things that we have to talk about. One of the most influential animes of all time is getting a reboot.
We also have, that Facebook AI update to get into. We have some more Twitter news to talk about.
And
self-checkouts and automation might not be happening as quickly as we thought. We'll get into all of that right after we come back from this break.
Break! Welcome back!
Welcome back. Looks like big retailers are rethinking a different side to automation. I won't say I saw this particular outcome coming.
I did.
But it seems like self-checkout aisles may be facing a self-reckoning. According to an Insider article, retailers who hope to save big on labor costs by introducing self-checkout lanes have recently moved from the automated push to reinstilling the need for real people to help customers with their purchases. AKA, they're tired of you niggas stealing shit through the self-checkout aisles. It's really costing them a lot of money.
Industry estimates suggest inventory losses can rise between 31% to 60% or more, depending on the number of self-checkout counters in a store.
According to the Insider article, Costco, for example, has started asking its staff members to check for membership cards and help with the scanning of items at their self-checkout lanes.
Dude, somebody's gonna try to walk out of Costco with the fucking TV. They're gonna get their receipt checked and it's gonna say a pack of Wrigley's gum.
I've heard that certain Walmarts now have aerial view, right? So they can see if you are placing things on the little weighted tray or whatever, right? Or holding stuff in your hand, and will tell you prompted on screen like, hey, you forgot to scan that thing that you're holding in your hand, and it'll name the thing like the fucking Dr. Pepper that you're holding. Like, yo, yeah, we see you, fam. And they are reportedly pulling self-checkout counters from at least 3 of their stores in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The company did not elaborate on the reason for the change and said it has no widespread plan for removal of these self-checkout counters. But I do know that they have been getting hit with all kinds of theft, right? Like, it is absolutely crazy how much you all have been stealing from Walmart. And I'm here to say, keep up the good job.
Yeah.
Everybody should be stealing from Walmart.
No, like I said, it's a civic duty to steal from Walmart.
Yes,
and like the thing is when you're stealing from Walmart, you don't even have to hide from the employees because they don't care.
They don't get paid enough.
And the thing is chances are they steal from Walmart too.
They won't even make.
They'll like block out for you like a fucking offensive lineman. The only reason
Walmart
you
steals
hide
from them. Walmart steals from their employees.
The only reason you hide when you're stealing from Walmart is to keep the other customers from catching on to the grift.
And I'm here to tell you it's okay. Tell everybody. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Help your grandmother. Old people love to steal, apparently. So
does Winona Ryder.
Help an old person, aka Winona Cycle.
And LeAngelo Ball.
help an old person steal a pair of socks for no reason.
And Donald Trump. But we'll get into that.
He's an old person who, you know, I wouldn't mind if he stole. He's probably stolen from Walmart.
He's probably stolen 300% more than he actually
I
has.
could totally see Donald Trump walking into Walmart and just stealing shit because everybody's too busy with him being Donald Trump, right? And he's like, "Ew, this is what you."
Does he
people do
pocket it
here?"
or does he just hold it?
He definitely pockets it, right? Like he just finds something like a little trinket. He's like, "I like this. Here." No, you know what he does? He gives it to somebody else. He's like, "Here, hold this for me." Yo.
Here, Mark Meadows, hold this. Rudy, what are you doing?
Rudy.
Don't drop it. Rudy, go home. You're drunk.
And then no, what it is, hey Rudy, hold this, right? And then as they're walking out and the thing beeps, it's like, oh my God, Rudy, you didn't pay for that. Jesus Christ. What are
You know what
doing?
else Rudy didn't pay for? His lawyers.
All the niggas is broke. Donald is apparently like hemorrhaging campaign money at this point, and maybe
he'll also-
getting to a point where he can't spend campaign funds legally, spend campaign funds on any of his court cases because some of the court cases coming up don't have to do with campaign fund violations. So, I just think this. It's funny because no shit. We all saw this coming. Who wasn't or hasn't stolen from a self checkout at this point?
Yeah.
Not that if we have any young listeners, I'm advocating you guys steal unless it's from Walmart. Don't tell
Steal
your
the
parents.
fuck from Walmart.
Everybody should steal. Fuck the Walmart.
Honestly, make it a game. Like, have like challenges with your friends.
Right. If you guys had done the lick challenge at Walmart instead of, you know, schools where people are trying to earn an honest living. I know Walmart employees are trying to earn an honest living too, but once again, fuck the Waltons. They don't pay their employees.
I just want to say, since it happened when I was a minor, and I am no longer a public official,
The statute of limitations has ran its course.
my record from Walmart is 8 Yu-Gi-Oh! Tins in one run.
Before we incriminate you any further, I will go ahead and say that on the flip side, though, you know, automation isn't always a bad thing, right?
Statute of limitations, everybody.
Helped a lot of us steal, and it is also helping Japan fight against its overwhelming boar and bear problem. Yes.
Oh my god, it's Princess Mononoke all over again.
I mean, kinda.
Yeah.
Robotic super monster wolves are guarding Japan.
Real sentence.
This is a real headline from Pop Science.
Hold on. Before this goes on, this is a segment. Is this a who the fuck asked for this, or an I never knew I needed this?
It might be both by the time you be the judge. By the time we finish reading this article, you tell me. Robotic super monster wolves are guarding Japanese towns against bears. First introduced to combat the invasive boar population.
Say it one more time. One more time.
Alright. Robotic super monster wolves are guarding Japanese towns against bears. First introduced to combat the invasive wild boar population, experts now believe the robo-wolf could deter wandering black and brown bear populations. Stories about solar-powered robotic wolves first surfaced back in 2017 after the Japanese researchers began testing prototypes to combat the wild boar devastating encroachments into farmland. Since then, the company Wolf Kumi expanded sales into Sentry products featuring menacing fangs, fur, and flashing red LED eyes. A head has, and the head of the wolf has like the capability of like shaking side to side, a 90 decibel howl. But boars weren't the only problem that rural Japanese communities were facing. So now, Wolf Kumai's expertise have been used to create the super monster wolf prototype, protecting farmers' crops from bears as well as wolves.
Why didn't the Libertarian Paradise make Mecha Super Robot Wolves?
According to the BBC, some researchers estimate that over 22,000 bears are located in the Hokkaido region where the wolf robot is being placed.
With over 150 bear attacks over the past 6 decades,
And
with 4 fatalities in 2021 alone.
So, you know, I'm not going to be the first person to say that, you know, one bear attack is probably too many bear attacks. especially if it happened in like a rural community area. But if I could, I kind of wish we were filming today so I could show you this wolf. But dude, like, just Google Super Monster Wolves, and I promise you won't get some weird manga. Like, manga.
That thing literally looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
It looks like when the wolf in Princess Mononoke got like infected with like the demon worm thing.
Honestly, it looks like the Turner Classic movie version of a werewolf.
Yeah, and I could see how that would scare off some boar. Apparently it's pretty effective against scaring off bears too. But that's, just an example of how automation can be a good thing, right? It's not all replacing workers. Sometimes it's doing, I personally, how much would a Japanese farmer have to pay you to dress up in a wolf costume with glowing red eyes to scare off bear all day? Is that like a $60,000 a year job?
No, I'm dealing with bears, dude. Have you ever seen the documentary Grizzly Man?
First of all, no, that dude was trying to be like Jane Goodall. That's like a whole different arena. Like, I mean, black bears are actually pretty easy to scare off. Have you seen them? They're almost like domesticated at this point, right? Like Alaska.
Black bears are chill. Grizzly bears,
yeah, no, that's a different.
So, do you want my ultimate takeaway from this article?
Yes. Personally,
Japan 100% has real functioning Gundams. Like military-grade functioning Gundams.
So you think because the one Gundam that they've shown us could do like a little two-step, right?
And now they have Super-Mecha Robot Wolves scaring off bears and boars.
Despite how many Boston Dynamics like robot competitions we've seen, and like the fact that the niggas can still barely climb stairs, right? Like, yes, I know I've seen the videos of certain robots doing backflips and things like that, but can it do it in sand though? Because
America thought it was top shit when it made Pong, and then Japan was like, hold my sake, here's Mario. Yes, I fully believe that underneath Japan's surface, where Gendo Ikari is running the secret nerve operation, Japan secretly has real working Gundams. Yes, I believe that.
For what? The alien invasion?
Self-defense.
The alien invasion.
Korea.
I'm sorry. Are you telling me that you think that if Korea launches like a fucking intercontinental ballistic missile,
Absolutely.
that Japan is gonna bust out the fucking
It gives
robots?
them another excuse to try it again. Third time's a charm.
In other news, I do want to see that Godzilla -1 or whatever it is that's coming out. That shit looks intense. The last couple of Godzilla movies were kind of mid, right? But they were enjoyable affairs. Now that it's back in kaiju territory, though, I'm kind of here for the metaphorical destruction of the city.
How strong do you think kaiju monsters really are?
In comparison to what?
How strong do you think kaiju monsters are?
I mean, how much clout do you think Godzilla has?
You think you could beat the character from Fist of the North Star?
Do you think...
I think Baki could beat Godzilla, but...
Excuse me, what did you just say? No, I'm gonna make you stand on that. Excuse me, what?
Godzilla's a bitch, yo! He's got T-Rex arms!
Did you not...
What's he gonna do against Baki?
I'm sorry, did you not see Godzilla vs. King Kong? Did you not see the way Godzilla dog-walked King Kong?
Have you not seen Baki dog-walk people all over?
I mean,
Alright,
yes.
fine.
Yes,
Luffy
Baki,
beats Godzilla for sure.
like, tier 5 Luffy?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you want to cheat, Gear 5 GG, but...
Yeah, I said tier 5. Gear 5.
But the reason I mentioned Fist of the North Star is it is going to be getting a reboot return.
Oh, they're finally reaching back into that 80s anime?
According to Screen Rant, Fist of the North Star is one of the most influential anime and manga of the 1980s and it was just been announced it will be returning for a new reboot.
It does. It does have some pretty. Even the animated series. I mean, I've only seen like clips from the Shonen Jump mangas, right? But the anime though, like, dude, it was one of my first gateways into that, like, just brutal, over the top, gory anime kind of shit. It's great.
There are very few anime and manga that have left as much of an impact as Fist of the North Star, and that's set to continue with a brand new anime. In celebration of the series' 40th anniversary, Warner Bros. Japan announced that a new anime adaptation was in development. Nothing else was stated beyond it, featuring a new cast and that it will use new animation techniques, but further details are expected to be revealed soon.
The movie from 1995, the movie adaptation, had fucking Malcolm McDowell in it and Mario Van Peebles, as well as Chris Penn. What a fucking line for an adaptation for this shit, dude. It's great.
So, the famous line that I'm sure you've heard before, "You're already dead," comes from Fist of the North Star.
Oh yeah, that was after he like did that weird little like touch thing, and the nigga was like sitting there talking that shit. He was like, "Oh, really?"
I remember the line from Kill Bill Volume 2.
Oh yeah, because of
when she does the five-finger death punch.
Yeah, yeah. That's a special move in the new Mortal Kombat game. I can't remember which character it is that does it. It might be...
Ooh! Another trick, real quick. You probably know the answer. What is the bride's name in the movie?
Oh, it's Beatrix Kiddo, and the only reason she has a name is because Uma wouldn't come back to film the sequel if her character was given a name, because Quentin got her in a very risky car accident while filming the first movie. That is actually on film if you go look for it. I'm not telling you to go look for it. I'm just telling you that Quentin Tarantino almost accidentally killed Uma Thurman in the jungle.
For the pursuit of art. And that's what he would have said.
Yeah. And I'm
He's
not
like,
shitting on...
there's risks to art.
I'm not shitting on Quentin Tarantino.
Banksy would say the same thing. He's like, dude, I'm risking a charge every time I do this.
It's also part of the reason why we have the Screen Actors Guild.
Hey, support labor.
Yeah, or else people will start making movies where children die again.
I guess also, since we lost last week's episode, we should do a real quick run over of the WGA strike ending.
Oh yeah, the WGA strike ended. They came to a tentative agreement after Drew Barrymore's little pullback stunt didn't work out, and they figured, oh shit, these writers aren't really playing around.
It's really crazy that Drew would do that, considering she's been in SAG-AFTRA since she was like 4.
Right. But it was there are rumors, murmurs around the internet that was her having to pull back because she got dog walked in the reaction to that statement is part of what made the AMPTP go, oh, this isn't going anywhere for a while.
Oh, so you think everybody was like, yo, Drew, you gotta bite the bullet?
No, I'm thinking she jumped out there and they saw what happened to her when she jumped out there and realized that they were in it for the long haul. And even Drew Barrymore, who was like kind of gearing herself up to be like the white Oprah, right? Even Drew Barrymore could catch a fade.
Alright, like Bill Maher, fuck Bill Maher.
Right.
But Drew, I feel like her show hasn't been on that long. I'm kind of like, and she's kind of always been like America's sweetheart.
Yeah, no, but that's the energy.
But not like the hot America's sweetheart.
If you haven't seen her talk show, I recommend you give it a look. It's very, I would prefer...
It's very wholesome. I have seen it before.
It is very wholesome, right? I mean, like, didn't she get, like, MGK to, like, cry on there, right? In, like, a wholesome way, right? Like, in a very, like, healing way.
Like,
she
probably him talking about his Meg, or...
It is, like, they're calling it the anti-Ellen, right? Because she is very, like, opposite of it. It's, like, very opposite of villain art. She's like, why are you going on your villain arc? What kind of experiences do you feel like you're gonna gain from that journey? And then she sits next to you with like her feet up on the couch. It's very cozy, right? Like her talk show is very cozy.
I remember there was some stand-up that said Drew Barrymore is very attractive in the right light. That right light is just very hard to find.
You know what else is hard to find? Apparently AI is having a hard time finding its lane, and one of those newest lanes is Meta's take on AI. Meta just recently
This is one I'm not familiar with. You do too. Please tell.
Meta just recently had its Connect keynote event. Yeah, we'll go with event. Mark Zuckerberg spoke about unrolling and announcing all of Meta's new AI features. AI featuring imaginative generation and a personal... So, like...
I did see the AI stickers.
Yeah, so that was one of the first big pieces of trending news to come out of this whole keynote ceremony, right? The next one was the personal assistant feature that will be introduced to Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and Instagram. And that is one of Meta's new pieces of software that will help you with providing information and doing mundane online tasks for you. Not much else has been announced about that other than it's powered by an open source large language model called Llama 2 for all of our tech nerds out there. Meta AI.
Does it have a hat?
Meta's AI tool that chats directly with users to answer questions, share information such as restaurant recommendations, biking trails. So Meta is really stepping into gear to kind of be everything that X wishes it could be.
Everything! Yeah.
As far as even getting pretty notable celebrity endorsements for its next AI feature, a very, in my opinion, dystopian take on celebrity partnerships. A celebrity AI chatbot. That's right. You can now have a classic AI chat feature with more than 28 AI characters, unique personalities, and interests available on WhatsApp, Messenger, and Instagram, with features from everybody, including Charlie D'Amelio, Snoop Dogg, and Dwayne Wade. And what's really weird to me about this whole feature is the fact that they're not AI-generated celebrity versions of themselves. They're playing characters. So, like, Kendall Jenner is one. She plays a character called Billy, who is a no-BS ride-or-die companion. Charlie D'Amelio plays a dance enthusiast named Coco. Snoop Dogg is a Dungeons & Dragons dungeon master.
Okay, that I'm all about. Continue, because the rest of this sounds like hot trash.
Dwayne Wade plays Victor, an Iron Man triathlete, motivating you to do and be your best self.
Yeah, no,
right?
Still fuck that.
So, all of these are, like, AI-generated characters.
Snoop Dogg as a D&D dungeon master? I am all fucking for.
You mentioned the AI-generated stickers earlier.
Walking in a castle.
AI
Who's there?
image editing will be a feature coming to Instagram in the future as well. And it just like...
Yay! Because we aren't convinced everybody's faking their lives on Instagram enough.
Already. And, you know, Mark Zuckerberg is looking to help, you know, destabilize your self-esteem even more.
Mm-hmm.
Just in time. Just in time for our dumb dystopia. Right? I gotta say, I'm actually kind of interested to see how some of these AI features work. As you know, I've kind of been like, I won't say anti-Facebook, right? But I've really been doing my best.
Yeah, I've had to message you on Instagram instead of Messenger, and the irony of
which
you
is
being
still
anti-Facebook
which is still in the Meta pipeline, right? But I've just chosen to...
You know, there's this crazy thing. We have each other's phone numbers.
It's funny how many people whose phone numbers I have that I actually still just text through social or message through social media.
Yeah, no, there's an unspoken formality to it.
I think it's because of all the extra features and, like, you know, bits and ends and shiny things that come with chatting on a social media app. That is what it is for, right? But unfortunately, social media has made a commodity out of socializing.
Well,
Right.
there are 3 people that I get text messages the most from. Family, people I might be sleeping with, and bill collectors. So that goes to tell you how intimate text messaging is.
Right. And like I said, with the way social media has now commodified socializing, I think we're seeing one of the possible outcomes of that, which is this lean into these personal AI assistants and these AI generated friends.
I have been having a lot of fun with AI, the Bing AI generator.
I haven't used that yet.
Really? All right,
I'm
so-
a little like I feel like we should embrace this AI technology, right? Because the sooner we actually embrace it, I feel like the sooner we can actually rationalize it and regulate it better, because it definitely needs to be regulated. This shit is crazy.
Here's what I told Bing AI image generator to make. Have Mickey Mouse dressed as a detective working with Batman to solve a murder that happened in a moon bounce. They are both looking at a pool of blood and a chalk outline on the floor of the moon bounce. Have the camera slightly above them. Put some police in the other room taking pictures with an old-style camera. Make it look like a 1980s detective film. Or a 1920s detective film.
It's not far off from what you asked for. It's pretty wild what
Here's the other
these
ones
AI
that they showed.
systems
So
can do.
there's that one with more blood. That one where it's more blood, older camera, but I don't like Batman.
I don't like Batman.
And then there's this one that
I feel like that one's the one.
but the
That's
suit
the
sucks.
No, I think the suit is perfect, especially for an 80s detective movie.
20s detective movie
Yeah.
in a moon bounce. So yeah, I was
In-
helping a friend of the show, the moon bounce guy. I was coming up with random marketing ideas because I'm doing my social media paper for class on his business because it's fucking hilarious. So I just started like AI typing things. I'm like, put the moon bounce in this. Put a moon bounce in this. So like he posted pictures. He posted them on his thing, and it's like a moon bounce in the Coliseum, a moon bounce at the signing of the Declaration of the Independence, a moon bounce at the storming of the Bastille. Like,
Yo, I don't know, man. I feel like with the way all these different AI models are popping up, like I said, Facebook has Llama and Emu, their image generator, for that sticker thing. For the sticker feature.
I will
right?
say, like, the cool thing about AI art is the fact that I was able to just think that up, and I would never fucking take the time to paint
paint
that
some
whole
shit like
fucking
that?
painting
And it
of
gave you,
Batman.
And it
Solving
gave
it-
you like 5 pictures too, right? It didn't just give you one. Like,
Yeah, the thing is like,
could you imagine
Like,
painting 5 pictures
I
of
love-
Batman and Mickey Mouse and a moon bounce?
like, I love real art. I am a real creative myself. I know the human touch that goes into real art.
Well,
Those
I mean,
pictures look soulless,
let's
but they
also-
are exactly what I asked for.
they do look very AI art does look very soulless in a way that like you would sounds corny, right? And you would be like, that sounds exaggerated, but every example I've seen of AI generated art, I don't know how else to put it, looks like a computer painted it.
Yeah, it's
Right?
like I look at them and I'm like, that looks really cool, but no one made that. Like, that's just shitted out by a computer. Like,
Yeah.
but it looks cool. You just don't really like. It doesn't leave that impact.
Yeah.
Like, I look at AI art the way I look at memes.
But that's exactly what this WGA strike was about, right? And it's exactly what the SGA strike was about. It's like, you know, they are leaning more and more into what this AI technology is capable of. We had this kind of murmuring going on when they started leaning into CGI more, right? And, you know, actors and people outside, like, you know, the effects people and everything were like,
I saw-
you know, push back against that.
I saw an AI art, and it was the caption was the first game where Drew Holiday blows defensive assignments, and it's just a nothing. It's nothing but a crowd of white, busted Celtics fans looking really angry, holding signs that say "trash" and "trade Drew."
But I'm just saying, so like, cause where Dwayne Wade is one of the feature participants in this AI character partnership thing, and I'm just like, do you?
Is he gonna tell me about Gabby U?
No, it's Victor. Remember, it's not Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's Victor.
Then I don't care.
So you're not.
The only thing I'm interested in is Dungeons and Dragons Snoop Dogg.
You're not. Okay, so you will participate. So that's enough to draw you into messing with this little AI feature.
If I could have, would you do a D&D campaign run with me and 2 other friends run by an AI Snoop Dogg?
I don't know if I care that it's an AI
What if we
Snoop
place
Dogg.
it in Detroit?
It's not gonna make it any better for me. Just like I wasn't really like over the fucking moon about the Tupac hologram.
Yeah, one of the guys is playing a street pharmacist.
Just like, I didn't care that much for the Tupac hologram. Like, yeah, it's super cool technology.
I was wondering when I saw the Tupac hologram, and then I saw Snoop Dogg performing with him. The first thing I thought of is what is running through Snoop Dogg's head while he's doing it.
Yeah, and that's where I'm like,
that has to be bizarre.
I feel like that perfectly encompasses how I feel about all this AI news that's been happening lately. Is it all sits in the uncanny valley. Right, like all of it, even the news around it, the way it's happening, like is weird. Like I'm mad that it's happening more through like pop culture and not like actual scientific development. It's not like we've got fucking Jarvises coming through. Like we're just now getting to like Google and like actual tech companies making AI virtual assistants. Right? Like, this shit started off as, like, a weird way to make memes and pictures of Donald Trump riding, like, fucking carousels and shit.
Who is now censored, and you can't even use him as a fucking prompt anymore. It's like anybody who is alive, you can't use as a prompt.
So it's like...
Or Julius Caesar. You can't use Julius Caesar for some reason.
Dude, because people are copyrighted images, and that's why I...
Julius Caesar is copyrighted!
I don't...
By who?
Excuse me.
Paul Newman?
I don't feel like... Okay, so copyrighted is a weird way to... I didn't mean copyrighted. I mean people, like themselves. Like, your personal image should not necessarily be something that could just be thrown into any random... We're dealing with this with deep fakes now, right?
We're dealing with this with someone else as well. We'll get into that.
Look, it's a flood.
It's a flood.
It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
Wait, why can't we talk about Black Sabbath?